Just kind of sitting in a basement in Los Angeles with the singer of my band and just in the midst of writing this record. And it's one of those things where you've been there for a couple hours and you're not really paying attention. You just write a riff and he's bored and you're bored and he starts singing something over it. And then, you know, it kind of, to me, when I first wrote it, kind of sounded to me like a Depeche Mode kind of thing, like the melody and stuff. And so, yeah, it was just really kind of just happened on the spot. Yeah, it was the chorus that actually came first. Yeah, and it just kind of all flowed from there. And the bridge is really kind of a total different, like a left turn from the rest of the song, which is kind of like our MO in songwriting, or my MO in songwriting is the bridge always being some completely different thing, often like tempo shift, and which really happens here. It drops like 20 BPM on the bridge. So yeah, the bridge is like almost like a different thing, a different song altogether. So dynamics are definitely important. I've always been a fan of, especially, you know, dropping down and crescendoing, and you know, we never really transition from part to part, just like in a pop style where you just kind of go into. We always have like a big build up, and you know, that's always, I don't know, I just like it's been important to me. And you know, dynamics of course are important in songwriting. You know, to keep your interest when you're listening to something. Doing that, I was kind of thinking of the Beatles. Not many people do that, and you run into the risk of having the chorus go too many times when you do that, because then your chorus is usually going to go 4 times. So you got it. Luckily, this chorus is short and kind of immediate, so it wasn't really a danger. But yeah, I don't think we've ever done that in a song, so I figure, you know, start with the chorus, get right to it. It was actually on the intro of the song, the first guitar comes in and goes, which is like just the open A string and then adding this kind of inverted power chord. But then the guitar kind of double tracks with 2 things, which I don't do very often because I like to be able to recreate everything live. But in this instance, one guitar is building up, going, doing that kind of power chord with that open string. And the other one's going, doing harmonics, like just kind of up and down the string. So they're kind of going at the same time to kind of. Yeah, then that leads up to the downbeat of the chorus, which is basically just full bar chords, you know, for that kind of heavy rhythm sound. Just that goes A, D, C, G. And then the second time when it goes through, it does a little harmonic thing. It goes, so a little like, pa, 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 pa. Here to the F with the muted. Do kind of like hit an open string and that's basically the chorus. Every time it happens is that same kind of progression. It's the first riff on the first verse. So it's kind of like just picking out that power chord, but doing a little hammer on, so. And hitting a harmonic on the D string at the 7th fret, so. But it's kind of muted down too a little bit the first time. And then I let that harmonic ring actually into the, and then kind of pull it down on the volume, let it ring into the first part of the vocals. I just let the bass go, and then it comes in with that nice heavy guitar to kind of take it up a notch there. So it just goes A, G, E, just the full bar chords again. So just kind of that nice chunky chugging along.
Right, pushing the rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of really like being the guy that's out there shredding for, you know, like 32 bars or something, you know. Just kind of, it revisits the, like it does in the first verse, except instead of just playing that same riff again, which I could have done, I figured, you know, take it up a notch and play something that's a little more aggressive, a little more, you know, notey, just to kind of make it a little more interesting. So this particular part kind of starts out a little muted, just so just kind of like that same swing rhythm, but doing the quicker notes. And then it kind of opens up the second time through. It kind of ends on that chord with the open E string again, so. I just play, there's some feedback going on there, obviously, which is just, I play. But there's also like a really kind of gainy thing going on there. The technique itself is just kind of like it's kind of like, it's almost a little off time too. It kind of just has like a little bit of a lag to it. It kind of builds up that, I think, anticipation, because it's like it's kind of pushing against the beat. But you just turn off one of your pickups and use your toggle switch and basically that. And like I said, that's another part in the song where there's two guitar things going on. There's that feedback in the background. So it's kind of like a chaotic thing, and then it all kind of comes together when you hit those big chords again at the second half of the verse. So yeah, I figured, you know, we've been doing, the whole song is basically that same swing tempo and, you know, roughly around the same tempo BPM wise. And so I just wanted a complete departure right here where we just brought it down like 20 BPM, and then, you know, the guitar tone changes, obviously.
Yeah.
And actually the rhythm is more of a straight, you know, kind of loses that swing feel and becomes just a straight, like kind of slow, sludgy rock, like. So it is a total departure, which I kind of like, you know. It takes you out of it for a second. I just play these kind of picked notes to open A string. And then it kind of goes through it. It does the same thing again, but the vocals and everything comes in. And then actually it builds up and then does the same riff again, but with the gain on it. I threw in an extra note there. I don't know what that was, but don't do that one. The final progression right before the last chorus is.